in Spain, in Italy, where there was a feudalism. We showed that there was a class conflict. Class conflict pushes the history forward. Without class conflict, it is not possible to understand. Okay, now that's my
Shaggy and others, their argument is about the class struggle. We have to refute that argument. The class struggle is not the driving force in the history. And so this is something to do.
And while having these arguments, we clearly stated that class struggle did exist in the same France with the French Revolution. It was the peasants that revolted against the Minots. It was when they were campaigning the Bastille against the Bastille. It was coming out of service. The class struggle is evident. Our question was never that were they exploited. Even Karl Marx says that they were exploited, but that does not deny the fact that struggle exists. They are now arguing again and again.
The main thing of the feudal was not to extract surplus production. Okay, so all the whole class conflict he can observe the surplus production. मुझे एक फोकस है कि आपसे मुझे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लेना है और वो उसमें सेपरेट हो रहा है क्लास conflict कैसे नहीं होगा सर?
Should I continue the argument? As you say, in all the medieval Europe and the feudal Europe, there were class struggle and exploited. Okay, let's super hypothetically take it as an example. What happened to Burgundy and the southern France during the French Revolution? There was no killing of the lords. There was no dethroning of the lords.
Are you sure there was no killing of the families?
In southern France, you
Sir, was it not that the Bastille was strong? Was it not that the lords were?
Give me the answer in the southern France. I agree that there was in northern France near the Paris
Now
area.
regionalize the areas and there were equally more people and the lords.
Scientific evidence basically on what basis you are saying?
In NCR.
Okay, go.
The
So
national.
nowhere in NCRT it is written that in France the lords was.
In NCRT it is written that during the French Revolution there were many lords in the
No, you can't deny, you can't say northern France was right.
No, let me speak first. In NCRT it is written that during the French Revolution in class 9th itself, that during the French Revolution there were a number of feudal lords, the nobility from the southern France that helped the peasants to overthrow the tyranny of the northerners.
Sir, the third state was revolting against nobility. How is he claiming these things in the same NCRT?
So why would the peasants revolt against the nobility? Because they were being oppressed? Would you answer
The
me?
fact is class exists. Now class helped the have-nots or did not help the have-nots does not change the argument that class did exist.
Class did exist, but
Our argument is class exists.
By class exist करने से तो कर लेते हैं class भी नहीं है करने से ये भी क्वेश्चन राइट
so my point is that yes, there might have been some personal relations of that time's central authority near the Paris. That's why they got overthrown. But what about the nobility and the clergy of the southern France that helped that revolt, even of the Burgundies?
Okay, basically what he's saying that we need to understand the class struggle जो हम बातें करते हैं basically जो traditional class struggle है वो exist नहीं करता. Even the clergy and the nobility they
specific region का exist नहीं करता था acceptable. But the whole concept of French Revolution was to be part of the third state, but actually the have-nots in this case. And he is also saying that nobility. The word nobility explains that it is the word of haves. So we are arguing that class existed. We are saying that class is the one which is pushing history forward. If he said it positively helped the have-nots, then definitely it pushes history forward in a positive way. If we are saying that it had the bourgeoisie revolution in the northern France, if we are saying it is having the Marseilles and the Versailles falls, all these things are also in negative history. But the point is, it is pushing history forward. That is the whole concept of
No, your concept is class struggle, not class development.
We don't want to stretch it.
do you want to ask
Yeah, I would like to include one throughout the analysis. It is very evident that they are becoming the programmer. So I would just like to ask one simple question. We explained that feudalism was a mode of production. We had some historical evidence, we had secondary. We may lack in primary, but we are saying that things like regional examples were very evident. We had theoretical frameworks. Just ask question. We proved that feudalism was a mode of production. Can feudalism be understood without examining these long durations, which each of them use evidently in their speeches, without long durations, structure and mentalities? I can't.
This makes
Yeah,
history more
wait.
scientific.
now you to answer this.
Yes.
You have to do this.
So the counter argument to you would be that if we don't take long-term structures as an example, the history would be so fragmented, it would look like a void in which there are some small fragments, the class struggles that you take, the wars that you take, the battles, the political movements that you take. Annals fills that void. It does not say that Marxist is wrong, but it says it has to broaden its approach of history.
So that's it.
But how?
Class struggle is the longest equation.
But how? Can you explain how?
It broadens it by including the cultural senses, the social senses, and the geographical senses. Let me take you back to French Revolution. Even in that revolution, the peasants were revolting. I agree to that. That's a historical factor. But even in that, they use the cultural senses, they use the societal senses to gather more support. That shows that culture is also a very good point that attracts more people to shaping
Was it
history.
not to bring the economy back? Was it not to bring the economy back? I'm again saying it. We never as Marxists, we never as Marxists said that the structures of the economy, culture are not important, they do not exist. When he's saying long duration, class struggle is the longest duration. It is where we are not fragmenting it, but rather we are giving it a universal story of class struggle which did exist, and therefore we are saying that economy is the base. We are never saying that economy is the only thing that exists in the society. We are saying political, social, cultural, historical, all these infrastructures exist